Hi all, this is Mohammed Abul Khair from Untangled, and I have an exciting announcement for today. So we are going to start a new series to cover secure code review. So if you have been looking for resources to practice secure code review, you may have found like two or three of these online. The problem, in my opinion, is most of these things usually use sample codes that are just meant for training people to recognize the dangerous patterns. So, like things like SQL injection or IDOR or whatever, which is useful again to identify or to recognize these patterns. But in reality, secure code review is a much bigger and much more complex process. It includes like going through an application, understanding how it works, the architecture, the entry points, the dangerous things, the relevant vulnerabilities, where in the code are these vulnerabilities are mitigated or whether they are mitigated, and then for any vulnerability that you identify, how do you make sure it's exploitable and how even to suggest a fix for it as well that doesn't break functionality. So all of these are components of the secure code review process that there are just no good resources to practice and that covers all of these things. So my goal was to provide just that, a way to practice the full process of secure code review. And hence the format of this is going to be a set of challenges that you can go through. And I've already posted the first one today on a public GitHub repo. And this is going to be a bi-weekly thing. So in a couple of weeks, I'm going to share the solution of that first challenge, and also going to post a new one. So again, the difference here in these challenges is, first of all, this is going to be like full applications with like their database, their authentication, their UI, and all of these things, and also the vulnerabilities put on purpose there are going to be basically based on real world vulnerabilities like CVE write-ups and so on. So you will need to go through that full process and understand how the application works and identify the vulnerability. So that's the main goal of this. So let me share with you the repo. I'm going to share the link for it in the description, but let me walk you through how you can actually go and start working on the first challenge until we post the solution in a couple of weeks. So let me share my screen. This is the repo here. So this is already public. And like I said, this gives you realistic applications with vulnerabilities based on real world vulnerabilities or actual write ups. And it even shares with you a methodology that you can go through to be able to identify this, like a real world secure code review exercise. So it's mainly going to be about understanding the application, how it works, and its architecture, identifying the entry points, dangerous things, and then identifying the relevant vulnerabilities, whether they are business logic ones or source sync or the different types of injection vulnerabilities. And for each one of these, where in the code they are or could be mitigated, and then uh, making sure that this mitigation works as expected. And then for the ones that you suspect are true or like actual vulnerabilities, how to exploit them or make sure they are exploitable, and also how to suggest a fix. And you'll even have this template here that you can use. Obviously, you can use your own methodology, way, or template, but this is a suggested one that you can use. So you can just go and fill this out for any of the quizzes that we're going to be sharing here. Obviously, just make sure to do that privately until the solution is posted here, just to avoid spoiling this for other people attempting to solve the challenges. For each challenge, all what you need to do is to go through it. So we have the first one here, and each one is going to have its own README file, sharing how it works, some details about the architecture, how to actually run it in your local machine, and even some details about like the back end, how it works, and the like UI and all of these things, and how to basically just use the application more or less. So how to interact with this application as a user. And again, you can just take these things here and copy them. So if you go to, so I'm just going to copy these steps here, and I'm just going to clone this. I already have this cloned in this repo. So now I just move to the directory, and then I just copy and paste these things. So now this starts the application. If I go back here, it tells me when you start the application, you will have a web UI, and you also can deal with the endpoint using some curl commands. You'll see some examples to register a user and then to log in with this user and get a JWT token. So I can do that using this curl command, or I can just open this here, and again, just register like and just like create an account, log in with this account, um, and then just like start working on things in the UI. So again, you'll have full documentation. You'll be able to run the application locally and interact with it. And the goal, like I said, is to follow that methodology or your own methodology to find the vulnerability in this application and see how we can exploit it and also suggest a fix for it. And like I said, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to share my own solution for it in this channel and also on the GitHub repo. So yeah, I hope you found this useful. If you're looking for secure code review exercises, I think this is the thing for you. So yeah, just give it a try. Let me know if you have any feedback about it, and just stay tuned for the solution in a couple of weeks. Have a great day.